Stop eating these 14 preservatives that can destroy your kidneys fast. Avoid these 18 worst preservatives that can destroy your kidneys fast. Are you unknowingly destroying your kidneys by consuming foods with preservatives in them? Some seemingly harmless foods can silently kill your kidneys and put your life at risk. So don't go about your day without learning what those bad preservatives are. The fact is, 90% of Americans don't notice kidney problems until they become serious. Our bodies often mask early kidney disease with severe damage occurring before symptoms surface. So when the symptoms do appear, swelling, brain fog, fatigue, weakness, muscle twitches and cramps, back pain, etc., it can be too late already. Kidney disease in its later stages is difficult and more expensive to treat. It's crucial to note that most cases of kidney damage cannot be repaired, especially chronic ones. If kidneys struggle, toxins will build up inside your body, leading to multiple types of health problems and terrible pain. The worst scenario is kidney failure, where you would need dialysis or a kidney transplant to stay alive. Now, here is a simple game changer: your foods. Eating good foods can safeguard your kidneys while others silently harm them. It's your choice. Risk kidney damage by eating harmful foods with preservatives in them, or make informed decisions to protect your kidney health. We are here to reveal the 18 worst preservatives that can destroy your kidneys fast. In the next few minutes, we'll not only point out these harmful preservatives, but also give you practical tips and solutions to keep your kidneys healthy. Brace yourselves for some shocking revelations. Before we dive in, kindly note that all information you'll find in this video is fact-checked, unbiased, and reviewed by qualified professionals. All right, it's time to swing back to the worst preservatives that can destroy your kidneys fast. 14. Artificial colors. Even though artificial coloring is frequently used in processed meals to improve their appearance, this could be harmful to the kidneys. These artificial coloring agents can seriously strain the kidneys. They are added to many different foods and beverages, including cereals, soft drinks, baked products, and chocolates. Toxins and waste products are eliminated from the blood by the kidneys, which are under increased stress when artificial coloring is used. The buildup of these artificial substances over time may cause inflammation and kidney tissue damage. Artificial coloring allergies might worsen pre-existing medical conditions and make renal function more difficult. A recent study in the Journal of the Egypt Society of Toxicology indicates that artificial food coloring, notably vivid blue, can seriously damage our kidneys. According to the study, rats treated with this dye experience morphological distortion and renal congestion. It was also discovered that the dye raised blood levels of specific molecules that are indicators of kidney injury. These results highlight the possible dangers of eating foods that have artificial coloring in them. Choosing whole meals free of artificial coloring can help us maintain the health of our kidneys. We can lessen our chance of developing allergic reactions that worsen kidney issues and renal strain by avoiding processed foods that include artificial hues like brilliant blue. Natural substitutes offer a greater variety of nutrients that promote general health while reducing the consumption of dangerous chemicals. 13. Sodium nitrite. Your kidneys may suffer damage from sodium nitrite, a preservative that is frequently used in processed meats. Nitrosamines, which are created when sodium nitrite reacts with specific chemicals, can subtly harm your kidneys and raise your risk of developing renal issues. Over time, these dangerous substances may induce renal injury by inflaming and causing oxidative stress in the kidneys. According to studies, eating a diet high in sodium nitrite may increase the risk of kidney injury by inflaming and oxidizing the kidney tissues. Kidney cells can be harmed by oxidative stress, which happens when the body's levels of helpful antioxidants and dangerous free radicals are out of balance. Furthermore, nitrosamine-induced inflammation can exacerbate renal damage and impair kidney function. Renal function may be strained as a result of changes in blood flow inside the kidneys, which can impact their capacity to filter waste and maintain the proper balance of fluids. It is crucial to exercise caution when consuming sodium nitrite, particularly from processed meats, in order to safeguard your kidneys. Selecting raw, unprocessed foods and consuming less sodium nitrite-containing items can help prevent kidney injury and promote long-term kidney health. 12. Artificial sweeteners. Regular consumption of artificial sweeteners such as aspartame, saccharin, and sucralose may cause damage to the kidney's fragile blood capillaries. Over time, blood vessel damage from artificial sweeteners may result in chronic kidney disease, CKD. It's common knowledge that artificial sweeteners are healthier than sugar, especially for people trying to control their weight or diabetes. More recent studies, however, suggest that these choices have a disadvantage. Their effect on the kidney's filtration mechanism is the main cause for concern. Nephrons are tiny blood veins that serve as filters in the kidneys. Damage to these filters prevents the kidneys from efficiently eliminating waste from the blood, which builds up toxins and aggravates renal disease. These worries regarding artificial sweeteners and renal function are reinforced by a study that was published in Frontiers in Nutrition. The study discovered strong evidence that artificial sweeteners may negatively impact kidney function after looking at data from those who routinely use them. Regular use of artificial sweeteners may compromise kidney function, according to the study's conclusion, which highlights the need to take alternative sweeteners into consideration for improved renal health. Use natural sweeteners sparingly instead of artificial ones, such stevia or honey, to protect your kidneys. Natural sweeteners like stevia and honey do not have the negative effects of artificial sweeteners on kidney blood vessels. Stevia, which is made from the leaves of the Stevia rebaudiana plant, has been demonstrated to have some anti-inflammatory properties and little effect on blood glucose levels. Although honey naturally contains carbohydrates, its antioxidant content can also be beneficial to health when ingested in moderation. 11. Potassium bromate. Your kidneys may suffer if you eat too many baked goods containing potassium bromate. Although this chemical is used to improve the texture and make bread rise, it has been related to kidney damage. Eating meals high in potassium bromate causes your body to produce extra acid during digestion, which can be bad for your kidneys. According to a study that was published in the journal Chemical Biology Interactions, potassium bromate has been shown to harm rats' kidneys by inducing inflammation and oxidative stress. This study emphasizes how dangerous food additives like potassium bromate can be to renal function and how important it is to exercise caution when using them. By reducing the amount of acid produced during digestion, baking items devoid of bromate can help lessen the risk of kidney injury. 10. Propyl gallate. Propyl gallate is a common food additive used to prevent fats and oils from spoiling. According to a study published in Experimental Diabetes Research, excessive intake of propyl gallate has been associated with potential kidney damage. Factors that can increase the risk of kidney damage from propyl gallate include consuming large quantities of processed foods, as this additive is often found in such products. Examples of foods that commonly contain propyl gallate include packaged baked goods like cookies and cakes, potato chips, microwave popcorn, and some types of margarine. Additionally, it can be found in certain cosmetics and pharmaceuticals, further contributing to its intake through various sources. To protect your kidneys from potential harm due to propyl gallate, it is advisable to be mindful of food labels and ingredient lists. When purchasing food items, checking labels for the presence of propyl gallate can help you make informed choices. Opting for fresher, less processed food options can also reduce your exposure to this additive and potentially lower the risk of kidney damage associated with its excessive intake. 9. Butylated hydroxyanisole (BHA) and butylated hydroxytoluene (BHT). Overuse of preservatives like BHA butylated hydroxyanisole and BHT butylated hydroxytoluene in foods can harm your kidneys. These preservatives are commonly used to extend shelf life and prevent rancidity in various food products. They are often found in snacks such as potato chips and crackers, baked goods like cookies and cakes, and cereals. Thousands of Americans consume these preservatives daily, unknowingly putting their kidneys at risk. The kidneys are responsible for filtering out toxins and waste products from the blood, and excessive intake of BHA and BHT can disrupt this delicate process, potentially leading to kidney damage over time. To maintain kidney health, try to minimize the intake of foods containing these preservatives. Be vigilant about reading food labels and choose products that do not list BHA or BHT among their ingredients. Opting for fresh, whole foods in preparing meals at home can also help reduce exposure to these harmful additives. By making informed dietary choices, you can better protect your kidneys and support overall health. 8. Sodium benzoate. The Iranian Journal of Pharmaceutical Research released a study that discovered sodium benzoate, which is frequently present in soda, salad dressings, and condiments can change into benzene. A hazardous chemical that has been shown to be carcinogenic and can cause cancer is benzone. Under some circumstances, such as exposure to heat and light, ascorbic acid, vitamin C, and sodium benzoate combined have the ability to generate benzene. Significant health issues are raised by this hazardous chemical reaction. Leukemia, blood abnormalities, various cancers, and other health problems have all been connected to benzene exposure. These essential organs may suffer irreversible harm as a result of long-term renal impacts. Maintaining the body's fluid equilibrium requires the kidneys to filter waste from the blood. Due to kidney damage, prolonged exposure to benzene increases the risk of developing chronic kidney disease, CKD, and other serious renal problems. When sodium benzoate is converted to benzene, the risk of kidney damage can rise significantly, especially for those who frequently eat or drink items that contain this preservative. Knowing whether the foods in your diet contain sodium benzoate is essential for protecting your health. You may greatly lower your exposure to this dangerous chemical by closely reading food labels and avoiding items that contain sodium benzoate. Additionally, benzene production and its accompanying health effects can be minimized by selecting fresh, unprocessed meals over packaged and processed ones. 7. Phosphates. High phosphate preservatives in processed foods can harm the kidneys by causing an imbalance in the body's calcium-phosphate ratio. Phosphates are commonly added to processed foods to enhance flavor, extend shelf life, and improve texture. However, excessive phosphate intake can lead to serious health issues. When the body takes in too much phosphate, it can disrupt the delicate balance between calcium and phosphate in the bloodstream. This imbalance forces the kidneys to work harder to filter out the excess phosphate, which can lead to kidney damage over time. Moreover, elevated phosphate levels can cause calcium to be leached from the bones, leading to weakened bones and an increased risk of fractures. Furthermore, high phosphate levels in the blood are associated with an increased risk of cardiovascular issues. Excess phosphate can lead to vascular calcification, where calcium deposits form in the blood vessels. This can cause the arteries to harden and narrow, increasing the risk of heart disease and stroke. People with chronic kidney disease, CKD, are particularly vulnerable as their kidneys are already compromised and less able to regulate phosphate levels effectively. To protect your kidneys and cardiovascular health, it is advisable to choose fresh, whole foods over phosphate-laden processed items. Fresh fruits, vegetables, lean meats, and whole grains typically contain lower levels of added phosphates compared to processed foods. 6. Trans fats. Because trans fats can raise bad cholesterol and cause inflammation, they are frequently present in processed foods and have been shown to be harmful to kidney health. According to research, oxidative stress and inflammation are two ways that trans fats may accelerate the development of chronic kidney disease. In order to preserve kidney function, the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases stresses the significance of lowering trans fat consumption. People may be able to reduce their risk of kidney injury and preserve better renal function by consuming fewer meals high in trans fats. Incorporating a diet high in nutrient-dense foods and low in trans fats can promote overall well-being and renal health. Enhancing renal function and lowering trans fat exposure can be achieved by cooking with healthy fats like avocado or olive oil and sticking to full, unprocessed foods. 5. Sulfites. A chemical component called sulfite is present in many foods and drinks and can be detrimental to kidney function. Sulfite can cause oxidative stress in kidney cells, according to a study published in the journal Kidney International. Sulfite can affect mitochondrial function, which is crucial for cells to produce energy, according to the study. In order to keep color and stop spoiling, sulfites are frequently utilized as preservatives in a range of foods and beverages. Sulfites are frequently found in foods and drinks, such as dried fruits like prunes, apricots, and raisins, which are typically added to prolong their shelf life. To maintain freshness and stop oxidation, sulfites are frequently added to wine and beer. Furthermore, sulfites are used in processed meats like sausages, hot dogs, and deli meats to maintain color and stop bacterial growth. They are also included in some canned vegetables, particularly those in brine. Certain professionally manufactured baked items and mixes, as well as some sauces, pickles, and relishes, may include sulfites. It is recommended to limit or stay away from the following foods and drinks to protect your kidneys from the damaging effects of sulfites. Processed meats, which are high in sulfites along with other preservatives that can be detrimental to kidney health. Dried fruits, which are frequently high in sulfites. And alcoholic beverages, such as wine and beer, which frequently contain sulfites. To reduce your intake of sulfite, choose fresh meats, fresh produce, and homemade condiments. 4. Sorbates. In particular, if you have chronic kidney disease, some food preservatives known as sorbates, such as potassium sorbate, may be detrimental to your kidneys, as per a study published in the journal Nutrients. Cheeses, wines, and baked items frequently contain these preservatives. Overindulging in meals high in sorbate can harm and irritate the kidneys, exacerbating existing renal issues. It's crucial for patients with chronic kidney disease to watch how much potassium they eat, since their kidneys may find it difficult to eliminate excess potassium from their bodies. Because sorbates are a major potassium source in processed foods, they can cause hyperkalemia, a condition when potassium levels in the blood are elevated. For those with chronic kidney disease, hyperkalemia poses a risk of injury to their kidneys and aggravating their condition. Eat less of meals that contain potassium sorbate and other potassium-rich additives to safeguard the health of your kidneys. Potassium sorbate is frequently added to cheeses, particularly processed and shelf-stable types, to help keep them fresher longer and prevent mold. Similar to this, potassium sorbate is used in wines, especially those that are mass-produced and kept for extended periods of time, to prevent the growth of germs and yeast. This preservative is often used in baked items to preserve freshness, including commercial bread, cakes, and pastries. It's important to be aware of potassium sorbate in the diet for people with CKD or those trying to keep their kidneys functioning at their best. This and other dangerous preservatives can be greatly reduced by choosing fresh, unprocessed foods. Processed cheese products are not as healthy as fresh cheeses like mozzarella or ricotta, which usually don't have extra preservatives. Selecting natural or organic wines devoid of additional preservatives can help reduce the amount of potassium sorbate consumed. Better control over the use of preservatives is also possible when baking at home with fresh ingredients. 3. Sodium metabisulfite. Often employed as a preservative to stop spoiling and discoloration, sodium metabisulfite is found in many different foods and drinks, such as wines, beers, and dried fruit. However, kidney health may suffer from an excessive sodium metabisulfite intake. Kidney stones could result from it, which is one of the main worries. Urine minerals and other chemicals crystallize and deposit hard deposits in the kidneys, which is how kidney stones form. By changing the kidney's chemical equilibrium and facilitating the development of stones, sodium metabisulfite may have a role in the development of these stones. Sodium metabisulfite not only encourages the development of kidney stones, but also directly harms the renal system. This preservative can cause oxidative stress in the body when ingested in excess, since it raises the concentration of some toxic substances in it. When free radicals and antioxidants are not balanced in the body, oxidative stress takes place, damaging cells and tissues, including the kidneys, in the process. Damage to the kidneys can affect their capacity to filter waste and maintain the proper balance of fluids and electrolytes, which can have long-term health effects. Whenever possible, choose fresh, preservative-free substitutes to prevent serious kidney problems linked to sodium metabisulfite. Due to their lack of additional preservatives and ability to deliver vital nutrients that promote general health, fresh fruits and vegetables are great options. Take fresh fruits like apples, berries, or oranges as an example, rather than dried fruits, which frequently contain sodium metabisulfite. Likewise, you can cut down on the amount of dangerous preservatives you eat by choosing fresh meats and seafood over processed and preserved variety. Limiting the amount of sodium metabisulfite in your diet can also be achieved by selecting water or fresh juices over wine and beer. For individuals who want to drink, looking into natural or organic wines and beers without extra preservatives may be a healthier choice. 2. Tert-butylhydroquinone, TBHQ. A common preservative in packaged snacks like chips, crackers, and other processed foods is tert-butylhydroquinone, TBHQ, a synthetic antioxidant. By keeping fats and oils from oxidizing, TBHQ prolongs their shelf life. However, kidney health may be jeopardized by overindulging in this chemical. A number of health hazards, including the possibility of kidney damage, have been linked to prolonged exposure to TBHQ. In kidney cells, TBHQ may result in transient oxidative stress, which could harm the cells. When the body's supply of antioxidants and free radicals are out of balance, it can cause oxidative stress, which damages cells and tissues. This oxidative damage may make it more difficult for the kidneys to maintain the proper balance of fluid and electrolytes and filter waste. The symptoms of acute TBHQ poisoning include vomiting, nausea, and abdominal pain. These symptoms may also point to kidney stress. Kidney health is substantially increased by long-term TBHQ use. Long-term exposure to this preservative has been connected to the emergence of renal problems and other persistent health problems. Research indicates that TBHQ may cause inflammation in the kidneys, which over time may make renal sickness worse. This inflammation has the ability to induce illnesses like chronic kidney disease because it obstructs proper kidney function. To reduce the hazards linked with this preservative, it's critical to carefully read food labels and select snacks devoid of TBHQ. You can drastically lower your exposure to TBHQ and other hazardous additives by preparing snacks at home and utilizing fresh, healthful foods. Fresh fruits, vegetables, nuts, and homemade snacks are better solutions that promote kidney health without putting you at unnecessary risk from artificial preservatives. Consider preparing your own snacks with whole foods and instead of buying packaged chips or crackers, for example. A combination of almonds and dried fruit, air-popped popcorn seasoned with herbs, or hummus over freshly chopped veggies are all tasty and nutritious substitutes that don't require additional preservatives. Additionally, you can choose safer options by choosing packaged snack options that emphasize natural, preservative-free components. 1. Calcium propionate. A typical preservative used to stop mold formation and prolong shelf life in baked goods such as bread, pastries, and cakes is calcium propionate. On the other hand, kidney health may suffer as a result of this addition. Research has indicated that the body's levels of several compounds that cause oxidative stress and inflammation can be raised by calcium propionate. Increased oxidative stress has the potential to harm kidney cells, compromising their capacity to eliminate waste and preserve electrolyte balance. It is advised to consume less foods containing calcium propionate in order to promote improved kidney health. Limiting exposure to this dangerous ingredient can be achieved by reading food labels carefully and choosing fresh, preservative-free alternatives. Selecting baked goods that are created from scratch or organically preserved, along with brands that don't use artificial preservatives, can help maintain healthier kidneys. You can preserve your general health and renal function by implementing these dietary changes. The risk of kidney disease rises with age. A number of symptoms, including as edema in the hands and feet, weakness and exhaustion, cramps and spasms in the muscles, back discomfort, and increased urination, can indicate severe kidney disease. Understanding these symptoms is essential for early management and intervention, which can dramatically change the trajectory of renal illness. If you have high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, or a family history of kidney failure, the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases stresses how important it is to get checked for kidney disease. Kidney disease can be prevented or at least slowed down in its progression with early identification. Steering clear of preservatives, which are frequently included in processed foods, is a crucial part of maintaining kidney health. Fresh, preservative-free foods will help improve kidney function and lower your exposure to these dangerous compounds. For those interested in the evidence, the studies supporting our claims are provided in the description box. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.